well-hidden, jagged ravine. I may have had no idea what we were walking into, but I was making damn sure we had a way to get back out.
What a heinous, depressing rock.
Baby, shut
It's
up.
really no wonder these people are so angry. They make camp on waste worlds. I mean, I'd be quite angry myself.
Yeah, well,
Be really?
I don't think they're here for leisure. On the remote fringes, a planet like Conrad is the perfect hideout for the NCA. They take over abandoned mining facilities and establish military training grounds. Life out here, it isn't for the faint of heart.
This region is lovely. Just lovely. All the...
Baby, you're not even human. Shut the...
This is it. Nobody's here.
Why don't you try the vantage point up there? On that rock.
I came up the ridge and the sun suddenly crested into view. I shielded my eyes and finally saw the wider landscape. Behind us and to the sides, it was all jutting rocks. But then the ridge dropped off, sloping gradually into a much smoother section. I squinted into the light, barely making out the silhouettes of massive industrial structures in the distance. I don't like this. We're exposed up here. I looked out again and realized what was off about the area beyond the ridge. Oh my God. It was a crater. A vast hole.
Uh-oh.
Like someone had just torn out a massive section of the planet's surface. I hadn't seen it because the size of it was impossible. I was so in awe, I didn't even hear him sneak up on me.
Listen carefully and do exactly what I say.
I turned around and saw Ari pointing a gun at me. Ari, what are you...
Stop talking. Put your hands up. Don't move. Don't talk. They may be watching. You just showed up here and I don't know you. I'm pointing my gun and that scares you. Now give me the bag.
Ari yanked the bag from me and rifled through it with one hand. I played along. I assure you, there's nothing threatening in there.
I see that, so I'm becoming less aggressive. I'm assuming you're here because of the event.
Yes.
I'm giving you back your bag. We're getting over our misunderstanding. I'm asking who you are.
I'm the rebel leader, Pharaoh.
I've heard of you. The situation is starting to relax.
Were you here when it happened?
No, we came right after. I'm lowering the gun because I realize we're on the same side.
Well, now that all of that ceremonious posturing is out of the way, can we get on with the mission at hand?
A smart AI?
Yeah.
The name is Black Box. Your reputation precedes you, Captain.
It's good to see you, Ari. They were afraid you were dead.
Yeah, and what do you think?
My faith never wavered.
So are you the entire brigade?
Just me and Black Box. Here to find out what the NCA knows, or has, and report back to HQ.
Well, I don't have a lot. We were close by when the colony was hit, but by the time we got here, it was all over. All I know is it caused major seismic damage, fried every piece of tech on the planet, and left behind that hole, half-mile wide. NCA's got the site blocked off now. Only a select few have been allowed in. Ilsa's planning her next move.
Ilsa? Ilsa Zane is here? I thought she was dead.
You didn't know? Well, it was in my last message before I went dark.
No,
Damn. They really sent you in here blind. Or they don't know. After she attacked the Infinity, Ilsa was picked up by some NCA loyalists. She's been running roughshod over this faction ever since, executing anyone she sees as a problem.
Ilsa Zane was a walking science experiment gone wrong. At one point, she'd been slated for the Spartan program. An
The
attempt at
crazy
building
one.
The ultimate
The crazy
unarmored killing
one.
machine. But she snapped. After defecting to the NCA, she was quickly indoctrinated and promoted to Admiral Drake's attack dog.
Then, when the colony was hit by the event, she brought us all here. The bloodletting seems to be over now, but everyone's still on edge. Unable to use comms, unable to leave.
But why haven't you escaped?
Well, I've certainly thought about it, but I can't. I'm trying to keep a lid on things here. They've got enough thermonukes in the armory to flatten the whole system, and Ilsa's been setting the table for total war against the UNSC. I'm hopeful I can steer things back from the edge, get her finger off the nukes until Oni can take her out.
I should send a sit rep to Noah before we go in.
Hold that thought, Maya. We've got movement on the perimeter, several guards heading this way.
Quickly, brief me. You were abducted by Oni. What happened?
I escaped custody and hijacked a prisoner transport. They were questioning me about the colony attacks. I was worried, so after I broke out, I came here.
That's the best they could do? Lucky prison break? All right, we'll have to make it work. Ilsa's been pulling rebels in from all over, so we say you're just another fighter joining the party. Now lay low in there. It won't take a blown cover to set Ilsa off. She'll kill you if she thinks you're dead weight. And keep the AI quiet unless you want to lose him.
I am but a lapel pin.
Found another one, boys.
What are you doing
baby.
outside the
Every
perimeter,
time.
Ari?
It's called a perimeter check, Raj. And it worked.
The crew was heavily armed and looked severely sleep-deprived. Ilsa seemed to have them on a hair trigger. It was tense, but Ari worked his magic, cracked a few smiles, and I was suddenly being escorted into the encampment as a guest of the NCA. There were hundreds of rebels with dozens of affiliations packed inside the dilapidated refinery, drinking and shouting, almost maniacally festive. It was a party, but it all felt slightly unhinged. What's the occasion?
That's a good question.
People
It's
needing a
been
nap?
silent as the grave in here until late last night. Our guys broke out
The
the
people
Colonel's
need a
old
nap.
cases of whiskey and told everyone
Yeah.
it was a celebration.
These people are
Everyone's
crazy.
been wound pretty tight.
I can see that.
All right, why don't you go grab a drink? I'm gonna make the rounds, see what I can find out.
As I laid low, I looked around hoping to spot any familiar faces. But I didn't see a sympathetic resistance. These weren't my people. I saw bloodlust. Groups responsible for attacks on civilians. Half the people here were mercenaries. No one seemed to
Responsible
stand
turning
for
the
anything
Infinity into a
except
pretty
vengeance.
princess.
From fire to blood. Any banner you want to fly to justify crushing skulls. This was the opposite of everything I had fought for as Pharaoh. I was hoping Ari would hurry up when I heard a familiar voice.
Pharaoh!
Bostwick? Oh my
You're
god!
alive! Yeah, I knew it. I knew they wouldn't get you. When you got taken, everyone scattered. Everyone thought you were dead, but not me. I knew you wouldn't let Arnie take you.
Bostwick had been drinking. A lot. A 5'0" rebel girl who probably weighed 100 pounds wet stood out in a group like this as is. But a drunk one was bound to attract unwanted attention.
Bostwick, what are you doing here?
I joined after the scatter. Half of our group was killed. Rumors were spreading like wildfire.
And what? The NCA offered you protection?
I don't know if I'd put it that way. I'd say they needed protection from me.
Oh Lord.
My bad, I'm just playing.
Quit
When I
causing
first found
fights.
her, she was an angry 17-year-old. Just lost her parents in a
No.
UNSC incident on Deacom. They operated a little convenience stand on the outskirts of a military base. Some troopers were drunk, tossing around plasma grenades they seized from a Covenant supply ship. One went awry. The troopers just got a slap on the wrist. Bostwick got a form letter apology. She coped by getting aggressive, assembling a small group of fellow Outer Colony kids orphaned by the UNSC. They mostly just engaged in petty theft, but by the time Bostwick and I crossed paths, she was turning her sights to a more violent course. So I took her under my wing. She was dedicated, a fast learner. I'd gotten her to start directing her anger towards positive change, but she still had a lot of growing up to do.
What do they have you doing?
And perimeter checks mostly, around the north end. They got me protecting some operation on the whole. Bunch of scientists going in and out, taking readings.
Readings? Okay, what can you tell me about... BB, I told you to...
I was about to say, don't speak.
Who are you talking
I'm
to?
broadcasting directly into your ear canal.
Sorry, I thought I saw... It was
I
nothing.
transmitted a detailed report back to headquarters. Apparently, Command is authorizing a strike using our current position as coordinates.
What?
The opportunity to kill
Yeah.
Ilsa Zane is too great.
Things get a little
This is of the
crazy.
essence. We must go now.
Ari.
What? You okay, Pharaoh?
Smooth.
Yeah, I'm fine. Come on, we gotta get you out of here.
Okay, let's do it. Wait, where are we going?
They weren't giving me much time to get out before the bombs started dropping. I had to find an exit. That's when Ari reappeared from the crowd.
Here, take this.
Ari handed me a data chip. He looked unnerved.
What?
I didn't
Listen.
have time to ask questions, though.
We need to leave now.
Ari could see the fire in my eyes.
This is not okay.
He knew it was serious.
Stick close and walk small.
We made it about halfway to the entrance when the door came rolling down.
Sealing it up.
Jeez.
Yeah,
all the
the
doors.
yeah.
We were trapped. Ari was
Oh.
working out another escape plan when Ilsa Zane stepped into the room.
Oh,
seemingly
you
sucking
piece
all
of
the air
trash.
out of it.
This
Ew.
is not good.
The entire facility, packed with rebels, had become suddenly unnervingly quiet.
Oh, no shit.
The crowd parted as she crossed the floor. Everyone turned to face her, eyes mostly averted.
She is cray.
And then
She is.
she stopped
Oh no.
15 feet
Oh,
from where we were standing.
no.
Ari carefully slid himself in front of me.
Oh, you brave,
I
brave
could
man.
just see over Ari's shoulder. Ilsa was big,
I want to hear her
scary
talk.
big. I didn't know what the techs had done to her in the Spartan program. It made her stronger for sure, but they'd broken something too.
Oh, good lord.
There was a glint in her eye.
This
Something
is some hella build up.
unhinged, something inhuman.
This is a celebration. And it should be. We've made a lot of changes in a very short amount of time. When I found you, there was no discipline, no uniformity. Just a bunch of misfits with different allegiances and philosophies. That was a problem of leadership. The Colonel had allowed this legendary faction of the NCA to devolve into a forum for individual interests.
Oh dear.
You were scattered and slow, and that's a death sentence. I relieved him of his command because bands of misfits don't win wars.
Yes, relieved.
Big machines do. Big machines made of lots of little pieces moving with the same purpose. That's what we needed to build here. And it's not easy.
That's Gears
Every
of War's
piece has to have a place,
catchphrase.
and
You
when a
don't get
piece
to do
doesn't
this.
fit, you have to get creative. You cut part of it off, smash it into place so it never pops out again. You do what you have to, and you trim the fat. I'm pleased to say that each and every one of you still with us has found your place. And we have built one hell of a machine.
Oh my.
And it's almost time to turn it on.
Oh my.
That hole outside represents our entry point into this war.
Oh lord.
That's why I brought you here to Conrad's Point. The landscape is changing. The UNSC is on their heels because of that hole. And we are going to capitalize on that weakness. We just needed the right moment. Which brings me to my announcement.
Oh god.
She walked around with incredible control of the room.
Oh my lord.
You felt like she could suck the life out of anyone at any time.
How many of you have lost friends, loved
Vampire.
ones at the hands of Spartans?
Oh no no no.
Well, today, we get to put a very big one in the other column.
Oh, excuse me?
What is she talking about?
I'm checking the feeds. Hold
No, 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 no,
on.
no.
What? This can't be.
In
No.
the wake of the seismic events that struck here and 4 other colonies, I have verified with numerous sources that our moment has arrived.
No.
Master Chief.
The Master Chief
He's dead.
is dead.
Oh.
I love
The
that.
mood shifted.
I've already seen that
There was some
commercial.
scattered cheering, but is it true? I don't think anyone knew what to do.
I don't know.
What to think.
It's not good, though.
The Master Chief was the greatest hero we had ever known.
Badass,
He had
though.
saved
It's not a
humanity
commercial
from the
for these
brink of
guys, okay?
extinction, defeated the Covenant, and almost single-handedly brought an end to the war. What could possibly have the power to kill the Master Chief?
Yes, the poster boy for the UNSC and the Spartan program was killed in action. That's why we're celebrating. That's why this is a party.
Ari, we need to make
Because
a
you're a
move.
psychotic,
is the
crazy
beginning of
lady.
a-
While the crowd was stirring, Ari bit the bullet and started moving towards a side entrance as we followed.
Holy
We didn't make it far, though.
And that requires expanding our ranks. That's why I'm glad to see we have even more new faces
Oh,
here.
she's great.
She knows you're here.
She's
Even
great.
today,
Well, no,
I
no.
hear we got a new shipment of fresh meat.
Oh
I
my.
don't know you, soldier.
She was calling me out.
My name is Pharaoh.
I know that name.
Yeah, you do.
You've been making a lot of noise recently, haven't you?
A little too much, perhaps.
You talk about transitioning us out of military conflict, is that right? Build up economic power?
I think it's a viable option if we...
Look around. There's a reason these people are following me. There's a reason they scream from fire to blood. You're
reason you're a
naive.
crazy
Your
lady.
dreams for tomorrow make us look weak. So what exactly can you offer our movement?
Go back to
Words
trying to
and
capture pretty,
speeches?
pretty princesses.
Negotiation?
Yes.
We
seriously.
are done with those.
Ilsa, she's got a strong logistical background. Maybe she could help us there.
Ilsa didn't speak for a moment. Her eyes were locked on me,
Oh jeez.
but then she relaxed and the tension finally broke.
I think you're right, Ari. We need some creative thinking on maintaining supply chains here. Pharaoh could be very useful in that capacity.
This is gonna get ugly.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Making pieces fit. As a leader, you have to know which pieces can be repurposed and which